The health report.
Hi, my name is Roshane White. Third world countries such as Jamaica has high level of kidney issues such as kidney dialysis, which has placed pressure on the healthcare system for a number of years. We will be having a special health report to examine the function of the kidney and also different processes that it undergoes. Also, we will have different specialists who will be examining the kidney as well. We have specialists such as Dyona Pusey who will be looking on ultrafiltration and how it occurs in the kidney nephron. Also, we have Crystal White who will be looking at reabsorption and how it occurs within the kidney. We have Shenelee Lennon who will be looking at key features as it relates to the kidney nephron. Also, we have Danique who will be looking at secretion as it relates to the kidney. Stay tuned.
So on the screen here is the diagram of the kidney nephron showing the different parts present, as will be further discussed in the document, and how these structures help in the functioning of the kidney. As the name suggests, glomerular filtration occurs in the glomerulus, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion occurs along the collecting duct and the renal tubule. Further in this video, you will hear more of the different functions taking place in the kidney nephron.
Hello, my name is Dyona Pusey. Today, we will be looking at the process of ultrafiltration and how it occurs in the nephron of the kidney. What is ultrafiltration? Ultrafiltration occurs when a moving pressure allows fluids to pass through a semi-permeable membrane. We will be discussing in details the following: the afferent arteriole, the glomerulus filtrate, and the efferent arteriole, and how they contribute to the functioning of the nephron. Starting with the afferent arteriole, these are branched from the renal artery, supplying unfiltered blood to the kidney. It is larger in size compared to the efferent arteriole because it provides for increased blood pressure into the glomerulus for the process of ultrafiltration to take place. So at this point, the driving pressure from the afferent arteriole plunges the blood into the glomerulus, causing small substances to be filtered into the Bowman's capsule through tiny slits. These are substances such as water, urea, protein, and solute, and is now called the glomerular filtrate. Substances that are not filtered in the glomerulus are blood cells, platelets, and albumin. These then leave the glomerulus via the efferent arterioles, and that is the process of ultrafiltration. Thank you.
Hello there, I am Shenelee Lennon. There are 4 different sections of the kidney nephron that are responsible for carrying out the process of reabsorption. They are the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, the distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting ducts. I'll be presenting on the proximal convoluted tubule and the loop of Henle. According to the Tortora text, the proximal convoluted tubule is the site where most solute reabsorption takes place. A sodium antiporter may cause a sodium ion to be reabsorbed and therefore secretes hydrogen ions. This solute reabsorption usually involves sodium and as sodium importers. Sodium and other substances such as potassium and calcium are reabsorbed and returned to circulation. Where an osmotic gradient is also created, in the process of water leaving the tubular fluid, the concentration of solute increases. Urea and ammonium are also secreted by the proximal convoluted tubule. In the loop of Henle, which is the second point of reabsorption, 2 main sections are present, which are the ascending loop and the descending loop. The main function is to regulate the concentration of the urine. Water is reabsorbed in the descending loop. The ascending loop acts as a importer, allowing the passage of sodium, potassium, and chlorine, where sodium and chlorine is reabsorbed. Little or no water is absorbed in the ascending limb, and also osmolarity decreases.
Good day, I'm Crystal White, and I'll just be finishing up the two final sections of the nephron responsible for reabsorption. The first section we'll be looking at is the distal convoluted tubule, in other words, DCT. This is the third section of the nephron responsible for reabsorbing electrolytes, other substances, and water. A small portion of water is reabsorbed in this section, about 10 to 15%. This is due to the fact that majority has already been recovered in the previous sections. These sections are the PCT and the LOH. Calcium is another important compound that is reabsorbed in the DCT. Calcitriol is an important form of vitamin D that aids with the recovery of calcium. For solutes and water of the DCT to be returned to the circulation, it is done by the peritubular capillaries. The second section we'll be looking at is the collecting ducts, which is actually the final part of the nephron responsible for reabsorption. The CD contains two different types of cells. These are the principal cells, which contains channels for the loss or recovery of sodium and potassium, and the intercalated cells, which absorbs or secrete acid or bicarbonate. The main function of the CD is to maintain or regulate the body's urine volume and osmolality. There's a specific type of hormone called the antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin that aids with the regulation of blood concentration. Depending on how concentrated the blood is, the CD will absorb more or less water in order to dilute or improve the body's blood concentration level. Here we have a diagram which basically summarizes reabsorption throughout the kidney nephron. Do enjoy the rest of the presentation.
My name is Danique Johnson, and what I'll be doing is explaining the secretion process. Now, what happens is that the blood will throw back or release specific substances back to these tubules so that the body can get rid of it. Now, these tubules are the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, which consists of the descending limb and the ascending limb, the distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. Now, substances such as hydrogen ions, ammonia, uric acid, urea, and drugs will be thrown back at the proximal convoluted tubule. Now, continuing to the descending limb, you'll have substances such as urea, and then at the distal convoluted tubule, you will also have substances such as hydrogen ions and drugs being thrown back to the tube so that it can be excreted from the body.